When we look at life, we tend to look at ourselves living in this body. And we all know at a certain moment in time, our body is going to die. Yes? We're going to leave this body. And what's going to happen next? Nothing.
If we are dead, what can we do with it?
Okay.
If we are dead.
So if we're dead, what's going to happen? Nothing, you say. Okay. So, what is the one thing that's inside you that enables your body to function? Thank you, your Atma. You see, if you have a car, unless there is a driver of the car can't go anywhere. Just like if you have a computer, if you don't have an operator, the computer can't do anything. So your soul, your Atma, is the driver. And that is why when you leave your body, at the end of life, people said, he's gone, he's left his body, she's left her body. So, do you believe in past lives and future lives?
Sorry?
Do you believe in past lives and future lives?
Yes.
You do, and you?
Yes,
You do? Okay, good. So, we don't just exist now. We just live temporarily in this body, and as a mortal material body, it will die when you get to old age, disease or illness. But the one thing that is eternal, and that is our soul, our Atma. And today, I asked you to choose one page from the Bhagavad Gita as it is, written by Srila Prabhupada, or translated by Srila Prabhupada, I should say. And we're looking at chapter 2, which is contents of the Gita summarized, and we're looking at verse 12. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So this verse talks about our eternal life. You see, life is one long continuum. Many years ago, we were born, and prior to that, and previous lives, we were born into different bodies, depending on our karma and our desires. And they created a situation of you being born into this body by the Lord's arrangement. And it's very beautiful, because often we forget. We think, I've got this body, I've got all these possessions, I get on my normal life. Are you students or you work? You're students, what subject? National Defence. And yourself? Army.
I'm doing graduation from me.
Okay. So, you want to defend your country?
We have to defend our country.
Yes.
We have to defend our country.
Gotcha. So, we're eternal. And just like Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, if he has the faith and the trust, he doesn't need to worry about what is going to happen in this battle. Because whatever is going to happen has already been pre-organized. It's been pre-planned. The Lord has planned everything. And similarly, He's planned everything in your life, and your life, and your life. Everything. Beyond even our comprehension. Because unfortunately, we're in Kali Yuga, and in Kali Yuga, our senses are very numb. Our intelligence is much less than it could potentially be. So that is why sometimes in life we don't understand things. It's very difficult sometimes to understand that we're eternal, that we have past lives and future lives. But at the same time, you've got a mobile phone. How does that work? How can you send a photograph to someone else? How can someone see you on the screen? And why are you only speaking to one person on one phone rather than millions of other people's phones? There are things in life we just can't understand, but we just take for granted and we accept. And this is the same with the Lord. There are certain things we can't always understand at this stage of our knowledge, but there are certain things that happen in our life that help to make life real. And it's very beautiful. So the Lord, He's trying to teach us how we can get to know Him a lot better. It's very important I say that. Shall I tell you why? You know, sometimes you turn around to your mother and you say, I love you. But there's two types of saying I love you. One is in just words, and one is from your heart. And I can assure you now, your mother knows every time when you used to say it in words and not from your heart.
She always got it.
She always knows. She always knows. But that's the thing is, I say to everyone here, how much do you love Lord Krishna? And everyone says, infinity, infinity. I can't give you a number. But actually, it's really easy to say, I love Lord Krishna. It's so easy. But how much do we really love him? I'm talking about serious love here. I'm not just talking about superficial. I'm talking about how deep is it? How meaningful is it? Just give you an idea. You go to college, and you go to college, what, 8 hours a day, roughly? You do some studying at home for 2 or 3 hours, that's about 11 hours. How much time do you spend on your mobile phone?
Roughly 3 to 4 hours.
So if that's 15 hours, then you have some entertainment and social time, say 16 and 17 hours, okay? Plus sleep time. Now, how much do you love Lord Krishna? Tell me?
Now comes the word little.
Say?
Now here comes the word little. From my level, yes, I love him a lot.
Yes.
But sometimes, you know, we can't have that much of time.
You don't have the time. Time. I don't know how many times I've heard this. And do you know what? In my past, I always said, oh, I haven't got time for this, I haven't got time for that. But I want to tell you something very, very, very special. Very special. You see, your perception of time is a total illusion. A total illusion. Because time is as fast and as slow as you make it. And the reason why time doesn't go with you and against you is our minds and our Maya mind, Maya Devi is in our mind, she's the one who takes up lots of time. Now, many a time I've come into a situation where I need to look at my 7 that I do here, and I'm wondering, am I going to have time for this? Am I going to have time for that? And every time something comes up, the Lord makes some arrangements, and somehow or other, he magically finds me some time. So, you might say, I have not got time, but you have time to study, you have time to be on your mobile phone, you have time to go shopping, you have time to see your friends, you have time to go on all the apps.
Lord Krishna also taught us whatever our dharma is right now, whatever we have to do, that like it's our studies or other things. We have to do it by whole spirituality and dedication.
Yes.
That was actual worship of ours.
Yes.
According to what he taught us.
Yes, the Lord's given you a certain amount of intelligence based on your past life.
One thing also, according to you, how much time we should dedicate to Krishna so that he can become our friend or...
So how much time should we dedicate to Krishna so that he becomes our friend? I tell you this now, Prabhu. Lord Krishna, he's in my thoughts, in my words, in my hearing, in my sight, 24/7. 24/7. There's not even when I go to sleep, I listen to Srila Prabhupada doing kirtan of the Maha Mantra. Every night in my sleep I hear that. There isn't a time when I'm not talking or listening about the Lord. You see, well, you might say, well, I've got to study. Now, who made it possible for you to study? Who chose your course? You did not choose your course. Lord Krishna did. He chose it because... Okay, let me tell you something here. Another special thing. In your life now, there are certain things you're very good at, and there are certain things you're not so good at. Why are you good at certain things? Do you know? Yes, because of Lord Krishna, but why, more specifically?
It has some reasons. Just because of that we have to...
Okay, so it's got some reasons. Now I'm going to give you an explanation that will help you to understand it. In your past life, you learn certain things, and in your past life you learn certain things. And every time you come into a new life, you bring with you some of your knowledge and your skills. So that's why you are attracted to doing certain things in this life, which is a continuum of your past life. So when you go to college, like you're at college at the moment, it's usually a 2 or 3 year course. And then when you finish your 2 or 3 year course, the college say goodbye, get on with your life. Now, this here is Lord Krishna's University of Life and Love. And he's giving you a personal syllabus. Unlike a college where you all study the same subject, and all of you that are studying the same subject study the same syllabus, the Lord has given you a personalized syllabus. Just specially for you, and for you, and for you, and for you. Everyone has their own syllabus. And it's beautiful. And you're not studying for 1 year, or 2 years, or 6 months, or 5 years. It is a lifetime's learning. You see, in our last life, we didn't study hard enough. We were so distracted. That's why we've been given another body. And in this life, we've got an opportunity to go deeper and discover who we really are. What is our purpose in life? And then maybe, at the end of this life, as an eternal soul, as it says in the Bhagavad Gita, we might have the opportunity to go and live in the spiritual world with the Lord himself. Maybe Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan, and break this cycle of birth and death and birth and death, because it's a hardship. It's not fun. I mean, let's put it this way. You're both going to work when you finish college. You're going to work for 50 years of your life. 50 years of your life! 5, 6, 7 days a week. Every week of the year. Is that beautiful? No! It's suffering. And why? The only one bill you should have to pay for is to satisfy your stomach. That's it. But no, you're going to work every day just for your stomach, and your phone, and your watch, and your clothes, and your possessions, and everything that you want is just going to cost you your life. Your life. And the Lord is trying to explain to us, in this one life, why not do something different to you've done in your past life, and your past life, and your past life? Make a difference. Try something different. Because in the last life, and the previous life, and the previous life, you served Maya Devi. And the illusions of life. But the Lord is saying to you, in this life, and this is our Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, he keeps repeating. He repeats this to us. In this one life, just serve the Lord. Make him the centre of your life. And do you know what? What are you going to lose? Because you're going to have another life if it doesn't work, and you can do whatever you want again. But in this life, the Lord is saying, this is your opportunity to break this cycle of birth and death. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that I'm going to the spiritual world at the end of this life. There's too much karma. There's too much stuff that I've got work to do. I know I've got lots of work to do. But it doesn't matter. Shall I tell you why? Because I know I'm an eternal soul, and because I know that everything is arranged by the Lord. Everything. He's the controller. I've got no worries because he's making all the arrangements. It's like having a job. There are some people who own their own businesses, and there's some people who work for companies. If you own your own business, all the responsibility falls on top of your shoulder. But if you work for a company, it's the big bosses who have all the responsibilities. All the worries of making sure you can do your job, pay all the bills, etc. And this is the same thing with the Lord. He's the big boss who's given us this opportunity of this life with the knowledge and the intellect that you've already got. But he wants to give you the opportunity to expand it. And not only expand it, but to become a better version of ourselves. And it's very, 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 very beautiful. Because even if I don't make it to the spiritual world at this life, or the next life, or the next life, if I'm becoming a better version of myself, and if you become a better version of yourself, and you become a better version of yourself, and likewise for you, and you, and you, and you, then do you know what, Prabhu? Maybe we can become an influencer, and maybe we can create a society of more mindful, more kindful, more caring, more loving, more giving, and less selfish, less greedy, less jealous, less envious, less angry people. And if that's all we do, well, I think that's a success in life. But the Lord is saying one thing. It's not going to be an easy job. We've got our karma. We've got things to do. We've got to decontaminate ourselves. Our minds are toxic. Our bodies are toxic. A bit like your colour of your top is what we're like inside our bodies. We're not like this inside our bodies. We wish we were like this inside our bodies. We like to be pure, but we're not pure. We're very, very dirty. And we need to clean ourselves. And the way the Lord says we can clean ourselves is just so simple, as Srila Prabhupada says to us. You can even miss it. Every time you put a little bit of clean water into dirty water, all of a sudden the water gets a little bit clearer and a little bit clearer and a little bit clearer, yes? Even if it's grimy water, it still gets a little bit clearer and a little bit clearer. By me chanting the Lord's name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, has a form of purification. It's a frequency, a very specific frequency, which causes an effect. I'll give you an example. What is glass made from? Glass. Yeah. What is glass made from? It's made from sand. Yes. And if you heat the sand to a certain temperature, which is a frequency, it changes its form into something very clear and very pure. And then with another frequency, we can break the glass if it's a very sharp sound. This is the same thing with the Maha Mantra. The frequency of the Maha Mantra has a form of purification, a cleansing process. Similarly, when you read the Bhagavad Gita, which we've been talking about as translated by Srila Prabhupada, this isn't just a book. This is non-different to the Lord in the altar. This is the Lord himself. And every time we read it or we hear from our acharyas, the same frequency through the words goes straight through to our heart, into our soul, to our para-atma, and it starts to cleanse. It cleanses and purifies. And then all of a sudden, you start to realize, ooh, I'm starting to think differently. I'll give you an example. 3 years ago, I read the Bhagavad Gita. But I didn't read the Bhagavad Gita, but I did. And what I mean by that is I did not understand one single word. Not one single word. I'll totally admit it. I did not understand it when I read it. I was just satisfied to say that I'd read it. I've read the Bhagavad Gita. I used to read one verse every day, but I didn't have the intelligence to understand it. I would read it, and I wouldn't even remember what I read. But I was focused on, I'm reading it, that's all that matters. Now, I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita at the moment, and I'm on chapter 7. And now, it's a different world. I read a verse, now this makes sense. And then all of a sudden a light bulb moment. Now I understand this and I understand that. So what's happened is, during this last 3 years, Lord Krishna has given me a little bit more intelligence and intellect and knowledge now to be able to understand an aspect of the Bhagavad Gita. But I also know that when I read this in 3 years' time, I'm going to again have another understanding, and in 6 years' time another understanding, and in 10 years' time another understanding, because I'm never the same person again, and neither will you be. And this is what is beautiful about being an eternal soul. Every life that you have had in the past, you come and brought forward with your karma and your desires an aspect of knowledge and intelligence. And each time you come into a new life, the Lord has given you birth in this body. Now, do you know why you've been born into this body? And do you know why you have your parents? Do you know why?
Why do we have our parents?
Yes, do you want to know why? Because the Lord, He chose your parents very, very specifically. Very specifically when you were born into this body. He not only chose your parents, He chose your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, your uncles, your grandparents and your great-grandparents. And do you know why? Because each of them are your teachers. And interesting enough, you're their teacher as well. So the Lord has given you birth in this body, to this family, all the way through your childhood, now up into your adulthood, or teens, I don't know what your age is, late teens, and all for a specific reason. It's been hand-selected. Every aspect, every friend that's come into your life. Now, actually, it's an important thing. Do you realize sometimes there are people that you don't get on with? There are some people you don't get on with. Do you understand that? You have that same thing? Can I tell you something very, very interesting? Every one of those people you don't get on with, actually, is your missed opportunity. They're trying to teach you something. But we're so stubborn, we're so hot-minded, we so think we're God that we push people away because we don't want to listen to what other people have got to say. When in fact, there are teachers as well. There are mystery teachers in life. And the Lord has arranged for every person to come into your life, in this life, and in your past lives, and your future life. There's nothing such as chance or coincidence or by accident. Those words don't exist. At least not in the spiritual world. They do exist in the material world. Because everything that happens is either a positive or negative. Oh, I can't have this, I can't go there. I wanted it this way and not that way. I don't like him or her because they think differently to me. Actually, this is all about our selfish me, I, mine attitude to life. I want you to think this way, I want you to believe this way, I want you to do what I want you to do. And if I don't like it, you can go and do whatever else you want elsewhere, but not here. And that's the attitude in life. But actually, all these people, all these situations are all unlearned lessons. And this is why, in life, and this is why we don't learn enough in this life, or in your past lives, you kept on pushing your lessons away, like I did the same. I ignored the lessons, I ignored the signposts. And therefore I didn't graduate, like at college or university, and now I'm stuck in another body again. But I'm pleased to say that I'm stuck in this body, talking about Lord Krishna, thinking about Lord Krishna. And do you know why? Do you know why I'm here? Lord Krishna arranged for me to come here, you're absolutely right, but why have I stayed here? Do you know why I've stayed here? Well, Lord Krishna arranged me to stay here, that's very, very true. But the other reason is I fell in love with Lord Krishna. Because I realised something very, 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 very beautiful. You see, I lived in the Kali world before, like you do. I was married, my first marriage for 10 years. I had a second marriage for 22 years. And then I had a 5-year relationship. Okay, I did 37 years worth of serious relationships. 3 serious women in my life, all separate times, not all together. And do you know what? I've realised there is not one person in this world who can give me unconditional love. And do you know why? Let me give you an answer. When you get married, possibly, let's say possibly, do you think you're going to have an unconditional or conditional love relationship?
We are already getting it with our mothers.
With your mothers? Okay, but you're not going to marry your mother, but when you find a woman in your life, are you going to have an unconditional or conditional love relationship?
Depend upon the women we are living with.
Okay, in your ideal world, in the ideal woman, is it going to be unconditional or conditional?
There's nothing like ideal. Everyone has their needs and everyone has their means to live with us.
Yes.
So we cannot expect with anyone that they can give us unconditionally everything just because we are not giving them unconditionally everything.
Yes, it's very, very true.
We cannot expect that.
Exactly. We find it possible just to give and give and give and give and give because I, me, mine has so many desires and so many needs. I just need, I need. and I hanker and I lust and I hanker and lust. But the Lord, now he is different, the Lord. You see, why is the Lord very different? Why is the Lord different?
Because he never expect anything from us.
Why?
Because it's Param Purush, Divya, Parameshwar.
He's his Lord. Okay, yes, he's Lord, but he's got everything in the universe he ever needs. And therefore, he doesn't need my love, he doesn't need your love, or your love, or your love, or your love. But the moment we express love to the Lord, all he wants to do is give more prem, and more prem, and more prem, and more prem, and more prem. And that's the beautiful thing about the Lord. He just gives and gives and gives and gives. No, we can't do it, because I want to be loved this way and not that way. I want this and not that. If you don't love me or don't do this, I won't do it for you. Because we're greedy, we're selfish. So, back to where we started on this conversation is, if only we can become this better version of ourselves, if only we would make the Lord the absolute centre of life, then maybe we can transcend into the spiritual world and realise that there's more to life than living here in this material world, and as an eternal soul, then we can maybe, by the Lord's arrangement, have an opportunity at some stage to join him in the spiritual world when he invites us and sends us a plane ticket to go there.
Yeah, you are absolutely fine, right?
Because he is the one who's the arranger, he's the controller, and we are definitely not the controller, we're not the arranger, and we're definitely not God. And this is the beauty about life, and this is what he wants to do for us. And he doesn't want anything from us at all. He doesn't ask anything from us. And that's the beauty. And all we need to do to start the process off is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.